A 59-year-old man is behind bars accused of fatally shooting his ex-wife's 41-year-old boyfriend during a karaoke session at a bar. At 11:52 p.m. on Friday the 11th of July, Lindgren County Sheriff deputies responded to a report of a shooting at Louis' Corner House at 11174 Hebron Road in Buckeye Lake, Ohio, where they found 41-year-old Benjamin Hawk deceased with a gunshot wound. Authorities identified 59-year-old Richard Lindgren, the ex-husband of the victim's girlfriend, as the primary suspect. Richard allegedly went up to Benjamin as he was singing karaoke on the outdoor patio and fatally shot him in the back of his head before fleeing the scene. A warrant for his arrest was issued. The following day, Richard was pulled over by a South Carolina state trooper with the assistance of Orangeburg Sheriff deputies, and he was taken into custody. On the 15th of July, Richard was transported to Lindgren County Jail in Ohio on a murder charge. The next day, he appeared in court and his bond was set at $5 million. A 50-year-old woman is behind bars accused of attempting to kill her boyfriend with a meat cleaver following an argument. At 8:52 p.m. on Saturday the 12th of July, authorities responded to an abandoned 911 call near South Main and State Streets in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Bucks County Dispatch reported a history of domestic-related calls at the address in the unit block of South Main Street. A second 911 call requested a welfare check for 50-year-old Robin McNamara after she posted on Facebook claiming her boyfriend had assaulted her. Upon arrival, Robin approached officers outside her apartment, her clothing soaked in blood. She claimed the blood belonged to her boyfriend, with whom she had argued, and believed she had broken his nose. Police noted no observable marks or injuries on Robin. She also alleged that she had taken an excessive amount of unidentified prescription medications and believed she was overdosing. Inside the apartment, officers found the victim sitting on a couch, covered in blood from head to chest, with a deep laceration to the back of his head down to his skull, cuts to his shoulders and forearms, and bruising on his back. The victim reported that Robin attacked him with a meat cleaver, which police found covered in blood inside a bag at his feet. Police observed blood trails, blood on walls and door frames in multiple rooms, and a rear room door broken off its hinges. The victim was promptly transported to a trauma center for medical treatment. Robin was arrested and booked into the Bucks County Jail on charges of attempted third-degree murder, aggravated assault, simple assault, reckless endangerment, possession of an instrument of crime, and harassment. 35-year-old Jessica McCroskey is behind bars in connection to a stabbing. At 9:50 a.m. on Saturday the 12th of July, authorities responded to a report of a stabbing in the 1300 block of 3rd Avenue North in Fargo, North Dakota. When officers arrived, they located an adult victim suffering from a stab wound to the neck. Investigators were able to use surveillance footage to quickly identify Jessica as a suspect. Police said that the victim and the suspect were not known to each other. The victim encountered Jessica walking on his property and confronted her, at which point Jessica immediately stabbed the victim and fled the area on foot. The victim sustained serious but non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to a local medical facility for treatment. Jessica was located shortly thereafter and taken into custody without incident. She was booked into the Cass County Jail on charges of aggravated assault and attempted murder. A woman has been arrested after investigators said she set fire to an apartment that was believed to be occupied at the time. The Clay County Sheriff's Office said it happened on Thursday the 10th of July at the Cobblestone at Eagle Harbor apartment complex in Fleming Island, Florida. Deputies were first called to a nearby park for reports of a woman behaving erratically. There they spoke with a man who claimed the woman had been acting strangely. Around the same time, firefighters responded to a fire call at an apartment just a few minutes away. Inside, crews found severe fire and smoke damage throughout the unit. The carpet, stairs, walls, and several rooms were all burned. The victim, who lives in the burned apartment, was not hurt. The woman accused of starting the fire, Emily Ann Dunaway, was found hiding naked in the woods nearby. She was given a blanket and later some clothes before being taken into custody. Fire investigators determined it was a case of arson. Authorities said that Emily did not give clear answers about what happened. She was arrested and charged with first-degree arson and booked into the Clay County Jail. A Mississippi man will spend the rest of his life behind bars for fatally shooting his wife of 31 years. On Wednesday the 9th of July, 67-year-old Tony Morris was found guilty by a jury for the first-degree murder of his wife, 64-year-old Kathleen Morris. At around 7:15 a.m. on the 26th of August 2024, Hinds County Sheriff deputies arrived at the couple's home in the 3500 block of Green Gable Road in Terry, Mississippi, and found Kathleen dead from at least one gunshot wound to her upper body. Authorities said that Tony called dispatch and stated that he shot his wife. Investigators determined that the shooting was domestic in nature because the couple was separated and in the process of divorcing. Tony was taken into custody and named the sole suspect. He was sentenced to life in prison in the custody of the Mississippi Department of Corrections. A man has been arrested after threatening to hurt and kill his mother. On Wednesday the 9th of July, officers responded to a residence in Jonesboro, Arkansas for a crisis intervention call. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the victim, who stated that her son Brandon Harper had made threats to kill her. The victim stated that Brandon said he would rip her face off and stab her in the heart and rip it out of her chest. The victim also stated that she was scared for her life. Brandon was then contacted in the residence, where he stated his mother uses coughing noises to erase his memory. Brandon was arrested and charged with terroristic threatening and given a $20,000 cash surety bond. He's expected back in court in August. A Georgia man has been charged in the murder of a woman found dead in Gaston County, North Carolina. On the 17th of July 2025, Zachary Ramey, a 35-year-old resident of Blairsville, Georgia, was charged with first-degree murder in Lincoln County and felony concealment of death in Gaston County in connection with the death of Candice Aufrecht. The charges follow a nearly 2-year investigation after Candice's disappearance in March of 2023. Candice was last seen alive with Zachary on the 8th of March 2023 on her 40th birthday at a Chick-fil-A in Lincolnton, North Carolina. Her family reported her missing soon after, triggering an extensive investigation by Lincolnton Police Department. On the 5th of February 2025, maintenance crews found human remains along US Highway 321 near Hardin Road in Gaston County. An autopsy confirmed the remains belonged to Candice and ruled her death a homicide. The investigation led authorities to a home in the 400 block of Lineberger Road on the outskirts of Gastonia in Lincoln County. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office took over, working with the Gaston County Police Department. Detectives conducted interviews and searches across North Carolina, as well as South Carolina and Georgia, pursuing various leads. On the 2nd of July 2025, Zachary was arrested on a 2023 weapons violation charge, and he was extradited from Georgia to Lincoln County. While detained at the Havana Krause Detention Center, Zachary was charged with first-degree murder and concealment of death on the 17th of July. He's currently been held without bond. The investigation remains ongoing, with authorities continuing to collect evidence. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office and Gaston County Police Department have not released further details about Candice's death at this time. A 26-year-old woman is accused of fatally stabbing a 39-year-old manager, a mother of 6 who worked at a McDonald's restaurant for 15 years. On the morning of Thursday, the 10th of July, Jennifer Harris, a manager at McDonald's at 17921 9 Mile Road in East Point, Michigan, sent Afeni Muhammad home early from her shift. Afeni allegedly came back to the restaurant through the employee entrance wearing a mask and armed with a kitchen knife before stabbing Jennifer repeatedly, up to as many as 15 times. A customer at the drive-thru window reportedly intervened and fired his legally concealed weapon. Afeni fled, and the armed customer followed her and held her at gunpoint until police arrived. Jennifer suffered multiple stab wounds to her face. She was rushed to a local hospital, where she died. Afeni allegedly admitted to police that she intended to kill Jennifer and stated that after she was sent home she drove to a nearby park, decided to come back and stab Jennifer with a knife that she had inside her vehicle. Afeni also made claims on social media that Jennifer had bullied her and disrespected her. On Friday the 11th of July, Afeni was arraigned in the 38th District Court on charges of first-degree premeditated murder and carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent. A judge set her bond at $25 million. She remains held at the Macomb County Jail.